What an incredible conversation I had with my friend Drew Larison, 5 Door Media, an absolute masterclass in the way to evaluate your marketing channels for you as a business owner, specifically in the home services spaces. So excited for you to hear from my friend Drew. Welcome to Market Mavericks. I'm Matthew Eford. Join me as I speak with leaders who are redefining industries in every corner of the market. From startups to established businesses, we'll uncover the strategies, challenges, and insights that drive success. Get ready to be inspired by the Mavericks who are shaping the future of business. Welcome, everybody, to Market Mavericks. I'm your host, Matthew Eford, and I'm so excited for this conversation with my new friend, Drew Larison, with 5 Door Media. And he and I met at a conference that we both spoke at recently, and I was really blown away. I sat in on his breakout session and super excited for our audience to hear their perspective of the way that they help specifically cleaning companies clarify their marketing message. So we're going to get into that in just a second. Let me read this ad from our sponsor. Are you ready to brighten your future? Join Lighting Pros franchise. As a leading name in premium outdoor lighting solutions, we're looking for passionate entrepreneurs to light up homes and businesses nationwide. Whether you're looking to solve your off-season winter blues or a growing year-round opportunity with Lighting Pros, you'll be set to shine in no time. Ready to step into a brighter future? Visit lightingprosfranchise.com and discover how Lighting Pros can illuminate your path to success. That's lightingprosfranchise.com, your vision perfectly lit. Drew, thank you so much for coming on the podcast today. Again, you and I met in Nashville at the huge conference where we both spoke at. Those who may not know you, tell us who you are, but really what's your role within the organization?
Sure, yeah. So Drew Larison, I am the CEO and visionary here at 5 Door Media. So I've owned an agency for 10 plus years. We actually just turned 10 in last June.
Congratulations.
But for many years, thank you, appreciate it. For many years, we were known as just like a generalist agency, kind of worked with anybody, anywhere. Okay. But around 6 years in, we really, dove into home services as a whole. We went to a mastermind, actually also down in Nashville where I met you. And we went to a mastermind down there, and it was a home service mastermind. And it just blew my mind what opportunity there was to help home service companies specifically. So we jumped into home service businesses, and we did a lot of work for the green industry, so lawn and landscape companies.
Okay.
We did cleaning companies, HVAC, roofing, and then we really, looked at ourselves again and I don't think that's enough. I don't think that's a niche down enough, because I was asking my staff to be experts on lawn and landscape, roofing, HVAC, cleaning companies, window cleaning companies, exterior cleaning companies. And it was unfair, really to them to ask them to become marketing experts.
Yeah, sure.
For all of those industries. So we looked at our client list and we looked at who we really had the most success for as a whole, what trends were we seeing? And we landed on cleaning. And, the cleaning world is a great world. It's in high majority of times, it's a reoccurring revenue world, sure, which is awesome for marketing spend, to help justify the effort of marketing and paid lead generation through marketing. So it just made a lot of sense for us to jump into, the cleaning industries and cleaning as a whole. But yeah, so that's where we are now. It's 5 Door Media. We are built for cleaning companies that are looking to grow. And my role, I am the visionary and the CEO. So I kind of help lead the vision of where the company is going, as well as making sure we're always taking, the right paths for our clients as well.
Sure.
I mean, obviously, we're living in this world of AI where everything's up in the air, everything's being questioned.
Yeah, sure.
So it's my job to make sure I'm helping push the staff and our clients in the right direction to make everybody, honestly, I say it a lot, but stay relevant in a
Sure.
fast changing world, helping people stay relevant and stay top of mind for their customers. So I do a lot of fun stuff like this. We have a podcast of our own, the 5 Door Media podcast. I do a lot of the sales as of right now, so I get to hang out most days and have really cool conversations with cleaning business owners on learning what their pain points are, what marketing they've tried, what they're trying now, what hasn't worked, what has worked. And I love what I get to do. I mean, that's any other business owner, it's stressful at times. It's
sure.
hard. But man, I can't imagine doing anything else. So it's a good job.
Yeah. Okay. So let me pick out a couple of things in there. Number one,
Sure.
you talk about being the visionary. Is that an EOS? Are you on EOS? Is that kind of where you got that terminology
Yeah.
from? Okay. So for those who are not familiar with EOS, talk to how you've structured your organization around the EOS model. Where's that kind of bit fallen for you?
Yeah, so we're probably around like 8 months into EOS where we're like
Nice.
fully implemented it.
Nice.
We self-implemented, but it's been really, honestly, really great for us and a really unique, fun story about our EOS journey, which a lot of people either think is cool or terrifying. My wife is my integrator, so my
Nice.
wife
Yeah,
works
cool.
full time in the business, and she is the official like integrator for the company too. So it is just luck of the draw where, her yin is my yang.
Cool.
I am like
What a cool blessing.
40,000
Yeah.
feet in the air, love to like see what possibilities exist out there in the world, or seeing something and I can just have this really great skill of seeing how it could possibly be better or bigger. I'm a builder. And then she is boots on the ground, integrating the details, the minutia to actually make things happen. So
I love that.
we're really lucky that our natural skills are just that. But yeah, so that's a unique thing about our EOS journey is my wife is the integrator, which I joke, but like some people I tell that to, they're like, "Oh, no way. There's no way I could do that. I couldn't like let alone work with my wife every day, but like let alone those specific of roles." But honestly, it's been great. I've said this before publicly. Are few more powerful of power moves than you and your spouse literally on a daily basis aligned together on where you want to be as a couple, as a married unit, but on top of that, as the company that you're running together.
I love
And
that.
if you're on the same page together, it's ridiculously a power move.
Yeah.
Now I'll be honest, like there have days we get into the car to drive home and we're like, I can't do this anymore. This is
Yeah.
hard,
Oh
right?
yeah. Oh yeah.
There are those days, but like, dear me, the good ones outweigh the bad ones, and it's such a fun journey that her and I are going to be able to be on together.
I love that. So what a cool perspective, that you got brought together, that you get to complement one another, right? That's something in the EOS process that the interviews that I've done, what I've found is the people that implement it, that have success with it, is
Yeah,
they have the Jim Collins, right? The right people on the right seats and get them out of the wrong seats. So often we try to force somebody into that integrator role,
sure.
that is just not equipped for that. Which within our organization, thankfully, I have somebody in that role that's detail oriented, that's follow up, that I see the vision. I'm very similar to you, the builder, I think years in advance. I think from the 40,000 foot view, but
Yep.
man, I get down into the weeds and I get so lost. And to have people on the team that can help in that, I love that perspective. Okay, let me pull out
Yep.
one more thing that you said in your introduction. You talked about niching down.
Hmm.
I had a mentor of mine that always said there's riches and niches, and I, as a business owner, we have found that, right. Our outdoor lighting, we specialize in the commercial space. About 87% of our revenue comes from commercial, and that is a niche for us.
Mm.
Super important for us. With you, talk me through business owners hearing that and they're saying, Drew, I got to chase every dollar that comes in the door. I can't
Yeah.
turn anyone down. Talk through that myth. Give us, if you are willing to, some example, like how has that impacted your business? Have you grown? Have you been more profitable? What does that look like for you as you become more focused?
I have a big theory that most issues, whether it be financial, mental, physical, uh, operational, whatever it is, most issues that entrepreneurs deal with on a daily basis, most of them have an origin of a scarcity mindset. I
Okay.
think we constantly walk around scared of losing everything,
Yeah.
which there's a part of it that it's not a horrible mindset to have because that really makes you want to protect and like make sure what you've been blessed with that you have, you're taking good care of, you're being
Sure.
a good steward
Good
of.
steward of. Yeah.
But at the same time, I think when this niching down conversation happens, I think that is such a big factor of that. And like I said, like 60% of the life of this business that I've been running, we ran with that scarcity mindset, but we also had a mindset that wasn't big enough either. So I think it's a combination of not dreaming big enough as well as having a scarcity mindset, which they're probably connected in some ways.
Sure.
And what I mean by that is when we were starting off, I'm from Kokomo, Indiana. Yes, like the Beach Boys song. That is where our company is based out of. No, not like the song describes. But you know, that's where I'm from. And we are a classic, like medium-sized town in the United States.
Okay.
Middle of the Middle West, right? And for 5-6 years, I thought the purpose of my company was to be the best marketing agency in Kokomo, Indiana.
Okay.
And I thought if I could get that, I made it. I thought that was my purpose. I thought that was my calling. I'm like an entrepreneurial kid. I grew up in an entrepreneurial home.
Nice.
My dad
Okay.
was an
Yeah,
entrepreneur.
cool.
My grandfather was. My great-grandfather was. So I'm like fourth generation entrepreneur.
What a cool legacy.
Yeah, more than you know. And I really thought I was made to just be in Kokomo, Indiana, serving companies in Kokomo, Indiana.
Sure.
And then, as I mentioned earlier, like I got invited to that mastermind in Nashville, and they did one of those like awkward lunches where like you're not allowed to sit with somebody you know, which I knew one person at that mastermind when I got there. So that wasn't hard. But I sat down with a guy and I realized within 15 minutes later, I had a client in Texas. And for that Kokomo, Indiana boy, it blew my mind that
Sure.
I had a client in Texas.
Sure.
Like that quickly. And like what we were doing in Kokomo made sense for a company in Texas too. So that kind of like changed my whole perspective about however big you think you're dreaming, you're not dreaming big enough. And I'm such a big believer of that. Like there's so much opportunity in this world. It's impossible to be like even right side dreaming. Like it's not possible to be dreaming big enough. Mixed with 5-6 years of running a generalist agency, we had that scarcity mindset to a T.
Okay.
Like anybody we lost, we thought it was the end of the world. We would never recover.
Yeah.
But then also, I want to make sure, like us niching down now twice, 2 home services, now cleaning companies, has been terrifying.
Sure.
And I'll just be very honest. Like
Yeah,
it
sure.
has been a terrifying move. But also, like most things, and I'm going to write a book about this one day, I swear. The best things in my life all had an origin of terror and excitement.
No,
And
I
I feel
love
like
that
that-
perspective. Yeah.
That niching down to cleaning again, once again, terror and excitement, it has been the best thing we've done in over 10 years.
Wow.
And in so many levels. One, we are truly becoming one of the fastest growing like cleaning agencies in the United States, marketing agencies for cleaning
amazing.
companies. Literally within like 6 to 8 months of us niching down, we're like really making a name for ourselves.
Wow. Thank you, Jesus. That's amazing. Congratulations.
2, my staff is so happy. Our team is so happy here that we are truly focused, because it's so much more of a sniper approach than it is a shotgun approach. And like I said earlier, like it was unfair for my staff to have these expectations for them to be experts on everything,
Sure.
on every home service niche, let alone when we were generalists. I was asking them to be experts on marketing for banks, restaurants, car dealerships. You know what I mean? I was just like, hey, we need to figure all this out for everybody. It's not possible, right? It's that
Sure.
master of, or jack of all trades, master of none mindset. And so moving down to this cleaning world, like already we're just like learning the language so much better. We know their pain points before we even pick up a phone to talk to them. We know what their expectations are. We know what their like cogs should look like. We know what their average clean costs are for them and their customer. We know how to talk about lifetime value. We know how to talk about customer acquisition cost. And it's been just such a breath of fresh air. And it's been really well received too. So like most things, like I said, some of the best things in my life all have that origin of terror and excitement. This has been no different, but this is becoming one of the best things we've ever done.
It's amazing. Man, I love that. I love that perspective. And the value that you're able to provide, right? That you're not
Sure. Yeah.
all things, all people, But what you're doing is that perspective of the sniper approach, right? You're able to be super, super targeted, and you know when that person comes across your table that I can provide the most value
Yeah.
for you. I can just provide the most value. I just know that for
Yeah.
sure. I love that you've
I'm
come down.
commonly like, it's common to hear on like sales calls or just conversations. He's like, I've never talked to a marketing company that knows my world more than you do.
Yeah, that's
Like I've had some
fantastic.
people tell me like, I feel like you know about my world better than I do at times. And it's just because my role specifically now is like, all I do all day is talk to cleaning business owners. Like that is who I talk to.
I
You
love
know,
that.
there's rarely do I talk to somebody else that isn't maybe another marketing agency owner or something like
Sure.
that. But like, and I listen. And I think that's a job of any agency is honestly any good marketer, you need to be a really good listener. You need to be listening what trends are. You need to be listening where attention is. Gary Vee had some expression back in the days like we need to be day trading attention, like some people day
Yeah.
trade stocks,
Yeah,
right? And
yeah.
like it's the job of a marketer is to be doing that. And like I've put myself in rooms like that mastermind that I go to. It is for home service business owners. There is nothing about marketing agency owners talked about during those few days, but like I'm in the room, you know, and like I listen to cleaning podcasts, I listen to cleaning webinars. There's a big one coming up this week that I'm going to be watching digitally. There was a big one last week that I was watching. But like if we were servicing 5 to 7 different industries, the education alone, I would be impossible to get, would be unreal,
Yeah.
right? So there's that aspect of it, as well as like our podcast that I get to do now. I always say like it provides a lot of value to the people watching and listening, but like I am easily the person that gets the most out of it because I get to talk to some of the best minds in the cleaning world and just get
So
to ask them questions over and over. And I selfishly learn so much about the industry that we now serve solely that it does nothing but make everything better. It's
I
amazing.
love that. Okay. So let's go into this conversation that you presented with your breakout session, your talk
Sure.
at the Huge. You talk about the 5 doors.
Yeah.
Okay, business owners, cue in. If you hadn't been taking notes, take some notes. I love this perspective of where a lead gets stuck along the way to converting to a customer. Give us a real quick overview of the 5 doors. And then if you don't mind, let's kind of take them one at a time and let's pull a couple of nuggets out for the small business owner, the solopreneur who's listening to this that wants to grow their business.
Yeah. So I mean, all of this started, which is the 5 door method, which is where we get the namesake of our agency, 5 Door Media. All this started like when we were getting into paid ads and lead gen. It honestly just started from just an education standpoint because we heard from so many clients that have worked with other agencies, and they would say things like, I don't know, they just told me to blame the economy. They just told me to blame the platform. They just like, no one ever accepted the blame as an agency on why ads weren't performing, as well as like, I don't think really anybody knew because until you like dig in, and that's what we've done with the 5 door method, like really dig in and look at data, look at insights, which thank God with like digital marketing, there is more data and insights than you'll ever need, right? To like use this. I can't imagine what the 5 door method would look like back in the newspaper days, right? It's just like, what do you even do with that? It's crazy. But we've found out this method to help like diagnose paid ad campaigns.
Okay.
And, you know, and as much as we've niched down to cleaning, we have a good concept of what worked for cleaning businesses, but it's also, we're not naive and say one exact campaign works for every single cleaning company across the country.
Yeah, sure.
In different cities, there are different audiences, there are different socioeconomic backgrounds, there are different expectations of customers. Where that customer or that client's brand starts in a city is a big factor and variable that goes into how ads will be received. So basically, the 5 door method is not something that's like groundbreaking or mind blowing, but I think I've been told by many people we are the first agency they've heard speak about it in the way that we have.
Sure.
And so here's what it is. We believe what we call the informational consumer, which is someone on the internet trying to consume information, whether it's entertaining, educating, value adding, customer minded, something like that. We believe they have to go through 5 doors before they become a paying customer of your business. First door is platform. Are you advertising on the right platform? Which, and I know in the cleaning world, it is a lot of Google, a lot of Facebook ads that we run, and both perform typically across the board well for that industry.
Okay.
Door two is creative. Is your creative or the content that you're putting with your ad stopping people in their scroll? Is it actually grabbing their attention enough to where they're stopping the scroll and actually paying attention to it? Third door is targeting. Are we targeting the right people? Sometimes targeting can be too broad. Sometimes targeting can be too limited, and that can hurt you either way. Door four is post-ad engagement. What happens after they click on your ad? This is where we're looking at landing pages. We're looking at forms. We're looking at on-app forms for Facebook ads.
Okay.
All that happens after someone actually clicks on an ad. And then door five is sales. Marketing has done its job. We got on the right platform. Our creative stopped them in their scroll. They filled out the form. It's the right person. There has to be a sales side of things that actually close the deal, right? So those are the 5 doors, and it's cool because internally we use them. It is the language we speak, right? So I mean, if our team is talking and a client's campaign is struggling, the first question asked is, what door are they stuck at? And we actually have built some cool custom GPT things where people can put in campaign insights, and the GPT will tell them what door they're stuck at.
That's fantastic.
But a lot of times we just know by looking at results and looking at campaign results and insights and KPIs, what door they're getting stuck at. And the thought is fix that door and then test again, right? I'm a big believer that marketers should just really have a mindset of practitionership, is what I call it.
What do you mean by that?
Yeah. So like doctors, another term that they are called is medical practitioner. They literally practice medicine, right? Like these people go to school longer than anybody else in this country, and they still practice for a living. It's because every customer or every patient that walks through their door might have strep throat, but maybe they have different symptoms, and you need to run this test. You need to try this medicine. You need to try this surgery. We need to run this x-ray. Literally all they do is practice medicine. Marketers need to be practicers of marketing, and I think going through these 5 doors is the way to do that. You test, are we on the right platform? You test, is our creative stopping people and getting engagement? You test, are we targeting the right people? You test after they click, are they sticking around? Or are they just bouncing? And you test what's going on with our sales process. So it was just a way for us to be practitioners in what we do, rather than just like scrambling to try to find the issue. This really organizes it in a way that makes it like understandable for the client as well, because agencies I think have done a really good job of like talking over the head of the client just to make them kind of confused. But this is something our clients understand, and but also internally it helps us like really tweak things and change things to turn it into a good campaign. There's too many campaigns that just get run and we don't know what's going on, and we throw our hands up in the air and blame something that we have no control over. We have control over every variable to make a bad campaign a great campaign. You just have to dig in and do the research to find what needs changed.
That's a fantastic point. Okay, so let's get to this idea of platform first, right? First door, you got to be where your customers are.
Yeah.
Small business owner listen to this. We got a lot in the home services that listen to this. What research can they do? What advice would you have? Where do they find the right platform instead of just wasting money, shotgun approach? Let's just spend all of our money everywhere. How do they get more targeted, like you did in your business, within their ad campaigns to get through that first door? What kind of insights would you provide there?
So platform, Google provides really great free tools to look into like keyword research tools where you can kind of give them an idea of like what you do or what type of keywords that you would be interested in purchasing. And it would tell you not only, like how many people are actually searching those terms, but also like how many ads are being clicked with those terms. So it'd be a really easy tool to use to just dive in and search, keywords that make sense to you, and then see if their traffic is actually there to justify putting marketing spend. One quick thing about just keywords in general, which is kind of door three, but I'll say it now. Make sure the keywords that you are using in judging if the platform is going to work or not are keywords that not just you as the industry are using. Make sure you're doing enough research to find out what your actual customers are searching.
Yeah, it's a fantastic point.
Because a lot of times in the home service world, we know the industry lingo and we think that's what everybody else is going to use too. But in reality, they don't know your world like you do. So they might be using some other terms that you're not. So just make sure you really look into that. Facebook, a good way to tell is like if you have a younger-ish audience, Instagram is a part of Meta. So don't think Facebook is just older platform for older people.
Sure.
You're going to get Messenger, you're going to get Instagram, you're going to get WhatsApp and Facebook when you run a Meta ad. So age, they kind of did a good job of like making sure platforms go like across the board, right?
Sure.
But a good way is just if you post content, are you getting engagement from organic content? Are you active in like neighborhood groups? Are you getting like any sort of quality lead at all? Or just no leads at all? That's a good way to tell if the right platform is the right way to go.
Yeah. I think that's a great distinction. And like I always chuckle when somebody puts out an ad in the Christmas light space for residential or commercial. And it's like no one is searching for that. They're searching for business owners or homeowners. And it's so funny, that different terminology, right? I love that distinction. Okay, so we get through door one, we find the right platform to be on. Then we get to the creative door. Okay, is this just trends? Is this we've got to make silly TikTok videos? What do you mean on the creative space? I know from our conversations at the conference and a little bit post about the authenticity of just being you as a business owner. Let's talk about that just for a minute, if you don't mind. Give us some insights on what a business owner can do to help make their connect a name with a face.
Yeah. I mean, it's 2025. Video is a massive play for any business owner right now. But that doesn't mean video is the only play either. But I'll say video is a massive play. Just for example, on like some Meta campaigns that we're running for people, it is wild how quickly we see a massive change in lead numbers and lead quality when we start using video ads over just graphic ads or link ads to a website.
Yeah.
It like night and day, it's been bonkers. Like we had a cleaning company we're working with out in actually Las Vegas, Nevada. They've been doing graphic ads. We've been trying since we onboarded them to like, please get on camera, like please be comfortable on camera. Cause it's a real thing, we do all we can where we try to supply them with like scripts to read. Some people like word for word scripts. Some people like bullet point scripts, things like that. But it's a big thing. But we know they were getting 34 to I think like $38 a lead on Meta.
Okay.
And then we finally talked her into getting on camera. And I'm not kidding. Overnight, the new video ad, which honestly, Facebook usually takes a minute. There's a learning phase with new ads that can be ran. But overnight, and then it's been steady for about 45 days now. She went down to a $14 cost per lead, around like 36. And really amazing. The only thing we changed was door two, was that creative. Going from graphics to video ads. Like $14 cost per lead is bonkers for a recurring cleaning client.
Yeah, it's amazing
in the cleaning world. But anyway, good ways to like see if that's working. So every ad you put out, you can go in and see like how many people liked this or commented, shared. It looks like a normal piece of content, which is a power play for Facebook ads. It doesn't really stand out that much as an ad. It kind of just looks like a normal piece of content. So people engage with the content like they would anything else. And if you're not getting any clicks, you're not getting any likes, comments, shares, that means people aren't paying attention. Your marketing looks too much like marketing. And like there's a really great quote, the best marketing is the marketing that doesn't look anything like marketing, right? So, I mean, if you're not seeing any engagement on your Meta ads, that's a creative problem. Same thing with Google ads. If you're not getting like, if you're not spending your budget on Google, and trust me, Google loves to spend that budget,
Sure.
and you're not getting those clicks, your headlines are just blending in. Like there's nothing standing out about your Google ad in any way to make you look special or creative. And a lot of people, you can throw like an offer in a Google ad headline. That makes it stand out more in a crowd, but like
Okay.
you feel free to be silly, have fun with it. It doesn't need to just be super professional Google ad headlines. But I mean, those are ways to tell if you're stuck at door two. Like just you're not getting any engagement across anything.
I love that. So can you give us an example of how to make it less polished and more human, less
Yeah.
like it's marketing? For somebody that hears that, they say that sounds great, but I don't know how to apply that to my business. I've been putting up that we hang lights, that we cut grass, and nobody's clicking on it, or very few people are clicking on it.
Yep.
Can you kind of give us an example of what that may look like, just to kind of spark some creativity in our audience?
Yeah. And I think you were describing, I think I talked a little bit in Nashville, some of the best performing video ads that we've ran for our clients are the least produced ads as possible.
Yeah.
And I think that goes back to it's marketing that doesn't look like marketing. You know, if it's like super flashy, if there is, tons of graphics, or like you're in a studio with lights and like a microphone and like crazy produced, they know it's an ad. So they're not going to pay attention to it. Right. Some of the best ads we run, our clients are like sitting on the steps outside their office, or like they're literally at their own home filming in their kitchen, and just walking around. And it's, at first we thought the opposite would happen, but what we've really learned is people like to use flashy lights, flashy mics, and all that kind of stuff, really to mask their own insecurity on camera. Because like I was mentioning earlier, being on camera and talking on camera on an audience online is really intimidating to a lot of people. I'm lucky. I grew up kind of on stage as a kid. I'm a musician. I'm like used to it, so it really doesn't bother me. But it really is a muscle that just you have to get your reps in until you're comfortable doing it. But like, dear me, the results we're getting from clients that are switching to video ads, the results are worth it to get those reps in and do the work. But yeah, don't overthink it. It does not have to be this crazy produced thing. This does not have to be, studio quality or look like it costs you $10,000 to shoot the ad. You'll actually waste money doing it because it looks like marketing and nobody will want to engage with it because nobody really likes to be marketed to. So you have to find out ways how to make your marketing look nothing like marketing and then still have it have an impact with marketing.
Sure. Yeah. So you're there, you're talking about the way that you do this type of work, the reason that you love doing this work. Do you do a direct call to action within that creative piece within the video? Is it ending with, hey, right now we're going to do a promotion for the next week, 10% off, $100 off? Is that, are you kind of always ending those creative ads with a call to action?
100%. Yeah. Especially on meta ads, offers are king. And like you can get really creative with it. It can be something as big as like your first cleaning is free if you sign up for recurring, or it could be like small, like an offer that's working really well for some of our clients right now is like free fridge cleaning if you sign up for recurring. And like that's just enough to like grab someone's attention, to pay attention to the ad, to where you might get their attention for them to focus on it. But it's also, I mean, talk about this is really important too. There's this expectation, no matter how good the creative is, that someone's going to see your ad for the first time and just fill out a lead form. And high majority of the time, it's in no way what that customer journey is. Sure. Especially if they've never heard of your business before.
Yeah, sure.
If someone's never heard of your business and they see your ad for the first time, even if it's great creative, right? It's highly unlikely they're just going to go, oh, okay, I'll fill out a form and have their sales team call me.
Sure.
You know what I mean? Like if you would put on your customer hat, like there's no way you would do that, right? That's not what the journey is. However, if you get them to at least engage in it, maybe they click over to your page, see your other content that you've been posting organically. Maybe they'll click over to your website. And then that's where that pixel could be activated, where you start retargeting them.
Yeah.
But like there can't be this expectation, no matter how good of a campaign it is, that like first time they've heard of you or seeing your ad, you're going to get a lead. But that's when having that lead or the video ad being their first impression of the campaign is really smart. And then you throw in some of those graphic ads referencing the same offer that was talked about in the video ad, and they see those over and over again. Because let's be honest, like your video ad is not going to be a viral internet video that they watch 100 times like a cute cat video. So
Sure.
like just because your video ad gets pushed to them more than once, they're probably not going to watch it over again. They've already seen it. They know it's an ad now. The cat's out of the bag.
Sure.
But those graphics will just keep them interested if they showed interest by engaging with the ad, and that's when you can get them converted to a lead.
I
So
love
it's a
that.
good mix of video and graphic.
So do you see that the business owner has to be in front of the camera, or is it the leadership team? Is it someone within the organization? Is it multiple people within the organization? What advice would you have there?
What matters most is who is the best on camera. And what I mean by that is we consume more video content as a society now than we ever have had before. People can sniff out something that's not authentic. People can sniff out awkward. I think the kids call it cringe these days, to where like we're just really good at sniffing out like, oh, that person's uncomfortable, which if they're uncomfortable, I'm uncomfortable watching them being uncomfortable. I have no interest in what you're selling. If the business owner is comfortable and can be in content in a great way, it should be the business owner, right? There is some sort of power that a business owner has that no one else can have if they're comfortable on camera. But if not, that's when you'd look to someone on leadership, someone on staff. You can actually hire, people to be in ads for you. It's something we're testing out right now, actually, with some of our staff being on our clients' ads. Because some people, no matter how much we push them, they just have no interest of doing it themselves. So they're more open to like someone else helping and being on the content. So like what matters most to me is more about, are they good on camera rather than like what role do they play in the company?
That's a great.
Because you could be the owner, but if you're cringy on camera, you shouldn't be in the video.
That's
content.
a great distinction. Okay, so
I also say too, you should learn. That doesn't just give you a cop out to not learn to be better on camera. I've give this tip to so many people. Start with like the 25 question and answers that you get asked all the time, and just repeat on camera over and over the answers to those FAQ questions, and film it. You're talking to a camera, you're not talking to a human. You don't have to post the content, but just get your reps in, right? Because it really is a creative muscle. The more you do it, the more comfortable you get with it, and the better you'll be at it. So that's not a cop out, business owners, if you know somebody on staff that would be better than you, but it is an encouragement to like find somebody that can do it now, but also like get your reps in. Make sure, like, try to practice being on camera more.
It is a muscle that can be trained, and it's
100%.
something that can be improved. I love that distinction. Okay, so we made it through door 2. We get to door 3, and we're looking at targeting. That if anyone's ever run their own social media ad, Google ad, it gets way overwhelming way quickly.
Can be, yeah.
What advice would you have? So as a non-professional, it can be way overwhelming.
100%.
What advice would you have for somebody who is looking within their ad space and they don't know if they're getting stuck at door 3 or not? What does that look like when they're evaluating their ad campaign? They're evaluating their current provider. What does that kind of look like in your perspective?
Yeah, easy ways to tell if someone's stuck at door 3 is if you're hearing back from the leads that you are getting, so the people are engaging with your ad. If you're hearing back from them, oh, that's way too expensive, or oh, I'm out of your service area, or things like that, that is a great way to tell we're not targeting the right people. And a lot of people don't know. You can do income levels on Meta ads. You can do income levels on Google ads. They're not exact science, but they're pretty good.
Sure.
You can do specific targeting. We do a lot of ads for clients in specific neighborhoods in their town, more affluent neighborhoods, because anything home service, we need to recognize we're talking to the top 10% of earners, like the people that have that extra income that they're willing to let somebody else do the work for them on their home. That is the top 10% of owners, and rarely ever gets outside of that. So you have to make sure the people you're actually targeting live in the neighborhoods where the top 10% of earners are living. And there's ways even to tag that door 2 to door 3, where if you have an ad, you're only going to don't know, Forest Park, say the neighborhood's name is,
Okay.
your ad copy should say, hey, residents of Forest Park, we have an offer just for you, or
Yeah.
something like that. You can get really specific. Is it exact science? No, nothing is. You'll have people that drive in and out of that neighborhood that don't live in that neighborhood that might
Sure.
start seeing the ad a little bit. But the high majority of people are going to be, residents of that neighborhood. I was talking to a cleaning client yesterday. Yes, yesterday. And they are in the Austin, Texas area. And they mainly do work in like some like really luxury apartment buildings and like
Okay.
townhomes.
Okay.
And when I told them like, why aren't you targeting just those areas? They're like, I can do that. And their mind was blown, right? So, I mean, it's just make sure you're targeting the right people with the right income that actually can afford your services in the right areas that you actually want to do work in. And, you can do it by zip code. It doesn't have to be just done by like the map feature inside of there. You can target
Sure.
specific zip codes too. But if you're getting just a bunch of lead feedback, way too expensive, this is absurd how much you're charging, or you're hearing things like, oh, I'm out of your service area, or I live here. Those are like two big red flags that it might be door 3 for you.
I love that perspective. That's what two excellent kind of cues for us when we're looking at that. One thing that we have found is what we love to say is a moving van's not making money. And the tighter we can make our routes, the more efficient we can be, the more profitable we be, the more generous we can be as an organization. And one of the best things that we have done when you talk about niching down, we have narrowed down our territory size, the target demographic, the areas that we're going after. That has helped us so much, right? That's been a big deal for us. Okay, so we get through targeting, we're getting the messaging to the right people. Then it's the post engagement. What is door 4? Talk to me about door 4. Where do you see us getting hung up there? What does that typically look like for you?
Yeah. So door 4 is all about post ad engagement is what we call it. So what happens, we're on the right platforms, our creative stopped them in their scroll. It's the right people, our targeting got the right person. They clicked on the ad. What happens next? So in the meta world, there's either 2 options you can do with this. It can either be an on-app form that pops up right on Facebook, where someone that never has to leave the Facebook platform.
Okay.
And so that's a simple like walkthrough form. Or you can send somebody through a website where it's called like a conversion ad, where they're actually going through your website. And then you are filling out a form on a landing page, and they can track back with your Facebook pixel that can be tracked there too. With Google Ads, obviously, that is through either like LSA or ads, where they're calling you or messaging you through your GMB page. Or if it's a PPC Google AdWords campaign, they're clicking over your landing page and looking at and filling out a form there. Some things to look at there. If you're getting a bunch of page views, you're getting a bunch of clicks to your ads.
Okay.
If you're seeing those type of metrics, but not the lead number is like wildly less than the click number. We're talking like less than 1%, 1 to 3% conversion rate, something like that.
Okay.
There might be something wrong with your form. There might be something wrong with your landing page. Especially on the meta side, you got to remember the intent of the user that clicks on a meta ad. They didn't ask for this, right? Like they were just scrolling, escaping from the world on Facebook. An ad popped up in front of them because they fit the demographic that we told Facebook we want our customers to be.
Sure.
So you have to make sure that on-app form is so freaking easy to fill out. You're not asking them for crazy information. It should not take them less or more than 60 seconds to fill out your form. If you're asking them to go to your website, or the same with like Google Ads too, if you're asking them to go to your website, fill out a form, do not put the form at the bottom of a like crazy long scroll page. I mean, Amazon got it right with that one-click purchase thing. They make it so easy for anyone to spend money with them. And like, honestly, every home service company should have that same mindset. What can you do today to make it easier for people to spend money with you? But with like this door 4 aspect, what can you do today to make it as easy as possible for people to give you their information to become a lead? So make sure your landing pages have the right amount of information, but not too much information. Make sure your landing pages the form is right up top, easy for them to see. Make sure your form is not asking for their blood type and social security number and their favorite childhood memory. You know what I mean? Like to make it as easy as possible, but also enough to make sure you're qualified qualifying that lead before you actually even have a phone call with
Yeah.
them.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's a sweet little science, right? But door four is easily, if you're seeing a lot of ad engagement, you're seeing a lot of link clicks, you're paying for, clicks on Google, but your conversion numbers are like way low.
Okay.
Like you're getting 100 clicks and maybe like 1 or 2 leads out of those clicks, or less than 1 or 2 leads out of those clicks. You might be stuck at door four.
Okay.
Your landing pages are making it too hard for people to give you their information and to become a customer. So that's how door four.
And so when you look for a landing page, just people who let me clarify this, or if you will, clarify a landing page. So small business owner hears that and they're like, I got a website. Is that my landing page? What do you mean by landing page? And give us just one tip. I don't want you to give everything, but just what's one tip that we can have for a landing page? What makes for a really, really good landing page?
Easy landing page correction that we correct a lot of time when people start working with us. Stop sending people to your homepage.
Yeah.
Your homepage is not a landing page. Your homepage is your homepage. Your landing page should be very specific and continues the story that you started to tell in the ad that they clicked on. So what I mean by that, if they started chapter 1, saw your ad on Google, and it mentioned even in the headline 10% off new customers, the first thing they should see when they get to that landing page of yours is the 10% off for new customers story being continued on, right?
Love that.
And then even so much so after they fill out the form, remind them again, like, we're excited to give you this 10% offer. It's like whatever hooked them in the ad, there has to be chapter 2 of that story on the landing page.
Okay.
Stop sending people to just your homepage. That is way too confusing, especially on Google Ads. They clicked or they searched a specific service, right? So maybe they were searching for like driveway pressure washing cleaning near me.
Sure.
That link should not send them to your homepage where it shows you like a picture of your kids and you, or talks about how you sponsored a little league team. They don't care. They like Google Ads. They are so far along that customer process and journey already. They know what they want. They've talked themselves into it enough in their brains to know, hey, I need help with this and I'm willing to pay for it. Do not make it so hard for them to find out a form to fill out to get a quote for their driveway cleaning that they were looking for.
Love that.
Stop romanticizing it. That's not what Google Ads are for. People search for a result, give it to them. Stop sending them to your landing page. But at the same time, just make sure a video on a landing page is also a great thing we're testing right now.
Okay.
Let's say you're on Meta and you have conversion ads set up. I'd rather watch a quick little video on someone's website telling me about the service and how to fill out the form rather than reading about it. So even videos on landing pages are a great tool right now too. Why?
I love that.
It goes back to all the expectations of the informational consumer, how people are expecting to consume information in the year 2025. I don't see it changing in 2026 is through video content. Yeah. So make sure your landing pages have really great videos. They don't need to be crazy produced. Don't freak out, but have videos that are quick, easy to understand, and pushes them in the right way to get them to fill out a lead form as quickly as possible.
I love that distinction. Yeah. At the conference that we were at, Marcus Sheridan shared,
100%.
Brilliant, by the way. And I'm so thankful we got to spend the time with him that we did. Yeah. But he was sharing about 82% of all content consumed on the internet today is video. 82% of all content is video. That absolutely floored me. And so we came back and told our team that, and I was like, "Hey, we're gonna push out more video across everything." So that's another conversation for another day. Okay, so we get through door 4. I love those distinctions. What a tangible thing for us to go and evaluate our current provider or the internal ads that we're running. If we're getting a lot of clicks, not a lot of conversion, we're stuck at door 4. It's pretty clear. Okay, so we get through door 4. We're at door 5. Sales. Everybody wants to make sales. I'm a salesman at heart. I love it. Talk to me through where we're getting stuck in the sales process. Is that just our conversion rate? So we get 100 leads and we only close 10 of them, which conversion rate can be different depending on the size of the job that we're doing. But talk me through getting stuck at door 5.
Yeah, so this is where it gets interesting from the marketing agency standpoint, because the last thing anybody wants to hear from an agency is, well, your sales process sucks or your sales process needs work, which is tough because there are times that is absolutely true. Yeah. But it's been overused by the marketing agency world in so many ways as just a cop out for not like passing the buck, that there might be something wrong with the actual ads. However, that's kind of the beauty of another beautiful thing about the 5-door system. We are data driven. If we have data showing, nope, we are getting all these people to come to door 4, they're stuck at 5. If you're not selling, there's something wrong with the sales process. It's an easy way to call that out. And it's not like to point fingers. It's like
Sure.
everybody here has the attitude like, let's make it work. We want it to grow. We want you to grow. Let's go. But what we see a lot when it comes to the sales world is speed to lead, which everybody's heard it. Everybody knows it. You have to be getting in contact with these leads within 5 minutes of them being sent in. It is wild. 78% of sales that happen through lead generation ads go to the people that answer the phone first.
It's amazing.
It's just bonkers, right? So, I mean, if somebody is calling you from a Google ad and you don't answer the phone, it's gone.
So let's
go
close
the
on
next
this.
ad.
We're coming to the end of our time, and Drew, I appreciate your time, man. I appreciate what you're doing. Appreciate the way you're serving business owners around the country. Somebody hears that last piece that you just shared, 5 minutes, and it just puts a pit in their stomach because they're thinking, I already don't turn my phone off. I can never get away from the business. How am I ever going to get back to all of the leads that come in during the day, after hours, at night and weekends? Give us some advice really quick to kind of close out this thought. What tool would you recommend? Is it AI? Is it a service line? Who can you send us to anybody that you would recommend us evaluating?
You know, it's tough. I know I don't recommend anybody right now, just due to I've heard so many horror stories of like outsourced call centers. Yeah. Real quick, I had a client who was spending $6,000 a month on Google ads. We thought everything was going great. It looked like they were soaring through all the doors. It turns out he was not closing any sales, and we didn't know why until I dug into his Google leads. $6,000 a month. 80% of his leads that came through Google were Google phone calls, which you can rarely find a more qualified lead than a Google lead that calls, right? Because they are like, oh, I'm here. I'm willing to talk to someone on the freaking phone. That's how bad I need your service. 80% of his leads were phone calls. Ironically enough, 80% of them were not being answered by his outsourced phone service. The guy was burning money. And it's so sad. And like now we've changed our processes internally to like call that out earlier to see like what issues could be. 5-door method is obviously helping with that. So like, I know I don't have a recommendation for outsourced call centers unless I mean,
that's okay. No,
listen to this. But I mean,
okay.
VAs can be a help with this, especially nights and weekends. A lot of our clients are starting to use the virtual assistants on nights and weekends calls. But I'll say this too. And obviously this is going to be weird for me. You shouldn't be investing in marketing if you don't have a sales system you're confident in. Because all you're going to end up doing is burning cash. And honestly, we have qualifications that we now go through if we take somebody on as a client. And that's number 2 on our list. What is your sales system? Because I don't want to have you spend all this money on marketing, us get you leads, and they don't close, and it's our fault. Because then you're going to badmouth us when maybe it wasn't us to begin with. So like if you don't have a good sales process, you're not qualified to be a 5-door media client. And honestly, I don't think you're qualified to spend money on marketing, you know? So like having someone in-house to be able to answer those phones is so vital. Or you've set up some really good automations. I think you mentioned AI too. AI voice is getting there. I've heard better and better things as days go on, but like AI automations in general, somebody doesn't have to be calling you. It could be a form fill and they get text and they're sent to a book now or get a quote link. Those are all great options as well. But I'll be honest, like you should not be investing in marketing unless you have that sales side too.
What a fantastic, what a absolutely fantastic point to make as a distinction for a check in the mirror, right? Kind of a gut check. Yeah. People want to grow their business. They're like, or just spend money. I got to spend money to make money. And if you don't have the system in place, if you don't have the structure in place, you're just going to waste a tremendous amount of money. Drew,
you see this a lot in marketing. I think people told you, hey, you need to do marketing. So they do marketing. People told you, hey, you need a website. So they got a website. Stop doing things just because people have told you to do them and start doing things because of what the outcome they told you could happen if you took them seriously. Right. Yeah. And you stop spending so much money just because someone told you to spend money.
Amen. Amen, brother. Okay. Drew, as we're wrapping up, please don't give our cell phone number, but somebody hears you and they fall into that category for you in your niche of cleaning companies. How do they get in touch with you? They hear the 5-door method. They're like, I'm all in. How do they get in touch with your team?
Yeah, go to 5doormedia.com if you'd like to. Just fill out a contact form there. I promise we'll get back to you within 5 minutes. And I mean, or you just follow me on Facebook, Drew Larison on Facebook. You can look me up on Instagram as well as Mr. Drew Larison. Would love to connect. Like I said, I literally am the luckiest guy. I get to spend most of my days just talking to cleaning business owners and home service business owners about how to grow their business and like the impact that they're making, for their clients all across the world. And I have the best job in the world. So please reach out. Would love to talk to you guys.
That's fantastic. Well, thank you, Drew. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for, again, the way that you're impacting the cleaning community as well as our organization. I appreciate that tremendously.
Sure.
Thank you, everybody, for joining us today on Market Mavericks. We'll see you soon. Thank you for joining us on this episode of Market Mavericks. We hope you're walking away inspired and ready to take your own adventure to the next level. Don't forget to follow the show to keep up with our latest episodes. And if you enjoyed today's conversation, make sure to subscribe, share it with others who could benefit. And hey, if you know a market maverick who has a story that needs to be heard, please drop their name in the comments. We would love to bring their insights to the show. Until next time, keep pushing boundaries and leading with purpose.